this off. We're so excited to see everybody today. This is Make It Big on Alignable, and this is one of my pet projects, and I usually co-host this with a young lady named Sue Brook, and Sue wasn't able to make it today, so Randy is filling in, which is fantastic, and we have two great members, new members to talk to today about their journey here and their success stories, because this is the thing that people always say to me. They're like, hey, you know what, you guys are telling us all these things and how we can do this and how we can do that, but we really want to hear from members. And listen, if I were in your shoes, that's who I want to hear from too. So that's why we have Anthony with us today. He's a business advisor at Thrive. He has I have a tiny bit of their stories under their pictures here. He got 46 referrals from one member, which is fantastic. And he may even have an update for us on that. That was something he told me about a couple weeks ago. As he says, this has skyrocketed his business. And he's also a group leader. And group leaders here end up doing a lot for their businesses too, because what Alignable is all about is really helping other small businesses. That's how you become more known. That's how your expertise conveys to everybody. And that's how you get referrals. But we'll get into all of that. And then we have James Clemens. Now, James is the founder of Micah Specialties. He is in Panama City Beach, Florida. And his business has jumped up about 30% since being on Alignable, which is fantastic. He's a group leader as well. And he is one of our 3,976 contest winners from this year. And I like having a lot of winners on this contest. It's just sort of a hint. But he, is elected by his peers to be his local business person of the year. And we will be talking about that contest because it starts again January 8th, 2024. And that has also been one way where you can kick your networking into gear and also do a lot more with a premium membership. So we'll get into all of that. Randy, why don't we jump to the next slide? Okay, so we went into a little bit of this already, but why we're hosting the event, Randy talked to you about how we're up to over 8 million members already. And I won't say 8 million members have said this to me, but I will say a couple dozen have said this to me over the 5.5 years that I've been here at Alignable. Hey, Chuck, how do I get customers on Alignable? What do I have to do? That's really what I want to do. And that is what we're answering today. They want to know how they're going to make the most out of Alignable and attracting the customers here. And that's so important as we wrap up 23 and really gear up for 2024. I'm also the guy who sends out all the surveys for the news media and for our newsletter. And I will tell you, for a lot of people, 2023, in fact, 58% of the people taking our surveys are really having a rough time with 2023. So anything we can do to help all of you, even if you're having a pretty good 2023, we want 2024 to be better. So some people are knocking it out of the park, while others are really looking for peer-to-peer guidance. And that's what we have. And we have two of your peers here today. So let me talk a little bit about some ground rules just before we kick into gear here. Okay, you're going to want to post your questions in the Q&A box, and Randy will be back later with as many questions as we can handle. So you definitely want to post them there as we proceed. And then look for a link in our chat for our Alignable Success Tips group. Now, this is a great place to keep this conversation going indefinitely, and different people monitor that group and answer questions. And we'll invite James and Anthony into that group too, so they can answer questions as well if they'd like. So if you're not a member of that group yet, join it. You'll love it. Again, members helping members figure out the best way for them to succeed in their small business and on Alignable is really what this is all about. And keep your eyes open for a link to this event, because we are recording it, and other links mentioned in an email coming up for you shortly, probably in the next day or two. Okay. So we're going to dive right in here and kick off this roundtable. Guys, I am so happy you're here. It's so great to hear from you, because, you know, we have so many people working behind the scenes to try to make Alignable as good as humanly possible, and we're always trying to make it better. So we love people's suggestions. We love the feedback. And, you know, let's put it this way. I've worked with these folks now for 5.5 years. Everyone's heart is in the right place. Sure, there might be a tech glitch here or there. Please let us know. Sure, there might be something that, oh, geez, I'm not sure what we do here or whatever. You know, we'll send you in a direction to another webinar teaching you something, or just ask us. We're all very accessible. So, Anthony, let me dive in with you. Tell me your success story, and tell me, are we still at 46 additional people that you've heard from, or are we higher than 46 at this point?
Thank you, Chuck, firstly for having me here and the introduction. We are now closer to 55 in terms of referrals. So it just kind of keeps going and goes its own direction. But basically with Alignable, I found it to be such a huge help for my business. So what I found is when I joined Alignable, it was actually referred to me from another business contact based out of Toronto that I should join Alignable, where you can connect with businesses. And then what I found is that by being able to go premium with the product, for it was like a drop in the ocean for me, very low cost, I was able to go in and join local groups. So I was able to go into my area in Canada, in my city where I am, and around the area that I look after geographically. And I joined the local groups. And then I was then able to look at the group directory and see all the new members, just like myself, that were joining Alignable, looking to network. And then what I would do is basically reach out to them and, you know, offer a hand at, you know, if we could network, if we could have a meeting, to have a chat to see how we could, you know, possibly help each other or how to network. And usually I would do that in person if possible, but I used Alignable as the bridge to help find these contacts and find like-minded, open-minded business owners and business people that were looking to, you know, network and grow their business.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic too. And another thing that we hear from people all the time is that, you know, they've met like a new best friend too. I mean, of course it's for business contacts, but hey, it's really about you as a person. And it's really, hey, can I help you with something? How can I help you with something? If everyone asks that, the network explodes. And on some days, many people ask that, and everyone does very well. So those are all really great points, and I'm so glad to hear that, Anthony. James, how about you? Give us your story.
Well, thank you, Chuck. It's great to be here. I'm on my 3rd or 4th year with Alignable now, so I've been around a little bit. And as Anthony, I have found tremendous success through Alignable. What I enjoy about Alignable is the professional relationships that turn into personal relationships. And it's really powerful to do that. It's engaging when you engage with the people on the platform. And to me is where the breakthrough happens, is when you stop trying to sell on Alignable. That is what I believe the biggest rookie mistake that there is people come in, they want to throw up an advertisement, and then they sit around and they think that there's going to be all this engagement that comes from this advertisement. Whereas that is not what I do on Alignable. I believe that the success comes from just genuinely helping others, answering a question, saying a nice comment, leaving a like on a reply that you like, just simply engaging with the people on the platform. When you do that, they engage back. And then it sparks the conversation that leads to really great things from business for everybody.
And I can attest, James, to seeing you comment on several of the posts that I've made, and that's how you stood out to me. I'm like, this guy James is awesome. Look at this. He's writing these comments just as I'm hitting send on my article. Like, you're really on it, reading the newsletter and all of that. And there are so many ways to comment on different things, group posts, reading the newsletter, going to different articles that we have. I mean, there's so many different ways to help. And that is really the nicest and most unintrusive way of giving yourself presence on. They just see your name pop up. Oh God, that James really knows what he's talking about. Oh my God, Anthony, that was a great answer to a question that someone's been worried about. And here's the other thing, having worked with everybody for so long, I know some people are a little shy, like they're a little introverted, and they're like, God, I don't want to look like I don't know this, but I'm like, hey, look like you don't know it. If you don't know it, that's okay. Plenty of other people don't. Ask the question and let people help. So that's really, it sounds so basic, but it feels like we need to keep saying that to help everyone come out of their shells too. So and we do have a group that networking for introverts. Well, I'm going to give a to that group because most people are a little bit of an introvert. At our office, everyone thinks that I'm the token extrovert, and I am, but I'm still an introvert somewhere there too. Now let me ask you, James, about this too, because I did mention the contest, and it is starting again January 8th, and now it's been several years, and you've been involved for a while here too, and you are a past contest winner, as I said. So talk to me a little bit about what happens during the contest, or how you've used the contest as a way to reach out to people or celebrate the people who've helped you.
The contest is amazing. So for me, as a car guy, an auto enthusiast, it's like the race that you've been preparing your vehicle for months. It really launches that way. And when I first joined, I believe it was March 2020, contest had already basically finished up. And I was amazed at all of the activity around it. And so I learned and paid attention to it, and I started interacting with the contest participants and the ones that are really standing out, and seeing them go through Alignable and share kind words and share happy moments and send me so many messages as a new member that was just, hey, you need any help, anything that you need on Alignable. It wasn't a sales pitch. It was a genuine pitch to welcome to Alignable. Do you need any help here? And from there, we have continued talking over the years. Some people I'm talking with on phone calls. I'm mentoring a few people through Alignable, other agency owners, to help them through the journey that I have already gone through as a 34-year business owner. So it's all about that contest, though. It comes back to that. And so it's going to be a tremendous time to connect with really thousands of people. That is how I will connect with thousands of people over the next 4 months through the contest. And that you cannot do.
That is fantastic. And Anthony, I think were you around for this year's contest, or did you join afterward, after January or February?
After January, February. So this will be new. The contest will definitely be new for myself.
Okay, yes, please get involved. And I always tell people, reach out to me if I'm trying to make everything as clear as possible in the contest. But my motto is no contestant left behind. I mean, I'd rather hear about, oh, geez, I don't know how to do this or that, but we're trying to make it super simple. And we are adding something this year. We've been pushing for this behind the scenes for a long time. We are adding that for anyone who's a premium member or who becomes a premium member during the contest, you get another 50 votes. Everyone starts with 10 votes, but you go up to 60 votes as a premium member, because if you're a premium member, you are a confident networker or you want to become one. And the contest is the way to really go for it, and nominate all sorts of different people that you may know very well, or others that you've just met. Or we will be also having smart connects where people can get to know each other during the contest and vote for each other that way too. But having that extra 50 votes will really we already say this is networking on steroids. Those extra 50 votes will really enhance things. And again, it's all about, hey, how can I help you? Or, oh, I love your profile. Or, oh, you really helped me out last year with that advice you gave me. I'm nominating you. And who doesn't want to be praised? I mean, a lot of people on our network, are somewhere between, the ages of 25 and 85, actually, maybe 95. We've got some great people who are still in there making everything happen for their businesses. And you know what? Who doesn't want to get a nice comment or a nice vote supporting them?
Chuck, you are so right, my friend. And let me, and on that point, let me add that when you send that private message, don't send I want to know more about you and nothing else. That is the wrong way to go about it. Read their profile, find something on their profile that stands out to you, and then write a nice, hi, Anthony. I learned about Thrive today through your profile. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're doing there, or anything? Kind regards, James. Now that is how you engage somebody. That will get you a very nice reply back, and it will build a relationship. Yeah, but you gotta lean into building the relationship and find that common ground and have a conversation. Just simply talk to each other, be genuine, have some fun here, and
Right.
learn about each other. That's what we're doing here.
Excellent. I couldn't say it any better. I mean, you guys, both of you, so fantastic. Anthony, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a little bit more about, what happened when, in terms of your networking, and you seem to me like you're a really good networker. Like you're really you know, feet on the ground, or hands on the keyboard networker. And so tell me a little bit about how, again, spending $30 a month helped with that on Alignable, because we'll be going over that a little bit later too, and have a checklist for everybody who's new. But I'd love to hear from you a little bit more on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Alignable just really helped me to unlock, to find businesses in my local area that I was able to, similar to what James has said, being there to help them, and seeing like basically who can I introduce you to that can help to build your business, trying to help their sphere, or basically their team or people around them. So if I'm reaching out to, let's say, a cleaner, for example, I'll look in their profile and I can see who they would like to be introduced to. And I'll say, hey, like, you're the local area to me. I think we should meet. I saw that you're looking to get introduced to realtors. I know several realtors around town I would love to introduce you to, if you would be open to meeting. And then we'd maybe have a cup of coffee and have a chat and meet in person. And then I'll refer them. I'd actually give someone business myself, or refer them to someone that can help them grow their business, or find out that information who I can introduce them to help them grow their business. And then I would make an introduction. And then I found then, just by doing that, along the line, there are businesses that they would refer me to help my business, or they would even want to know more about my business itself. And a lot of my partnerships have come through that avenue, and a lot of referrals. So I found that really just connecting people, being that person that connects people, help them build their business, goes a long way.
And it goes a long way in building a relationship with them, right? I mean, that's what really happens. And they're like, God, that Anthony, look at him. He gave me a referral here. How can I help him? That's what we find happens, right?
I think people have a natural, feeling to reciprocate. Once they say that, okay, like if give us sort of gain in that way, if you give business or if you can refer business, then they feel naturally like, okay, what can I do in return? Like, this person has helped me, how can I help them? That just becomes pretty natural. Not everyone does. Some people do, some people don't. But the more people you help, the more chances you have of things just circling back to you over time.
Right. And on that note, let me ask you, James, the word giver keeps popping up. It sure pops up in my messaging and certainly for the contest. Would you say that being a giver on Alignable is really the way to go?
100%. 100%. You give and you get back in return. Anthony said it, you've said it, Randy has said it. We hear it all over, but I think it gets pushed aside because we're all so busy and we all have our goals and our desires of what we want to get done. And so we're trying to hammer our way in to these relationships. Whereas if you just sort of simmer down a little bit, relax, and just simply connect one-on-one, the rest will happen naturally. And that again happens much more rapidly on Alignable with a premium membership. Let me tell you one feature that I get so many comments about, and that is the showcasing of a review. So that's a premium feature. So on my profile at the very top, Laura left me a very nice review during the contest last year, and I've left it up there. And I have had dozens of comments about, how can I get that feature? How can I showcase your review? How can I do what you're doing? And after it took me a few months to figure out that's a premium feature. And so there's been members who have changed and become premium members to get that feature. And it is well worth it because it just showcases so nicely on your profile.
Oh, that's lovely. So that's that spotlight feature
Spotlight. There you go.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I was going to ask you about another one, but I'm so glad you brought that one up. I did want to ask you about the See Who feature, and I'll ask both of you about that too. But starting with you, James, where for anyone who's new to Alignable, when you go premium, you can see who has visited, who's checked out your profile. Out of 8 million people, if 3,000 people checked out your profile that week, you'll see that they checked out your profile that week. And there are different other insights and analytics that we have too. But that See Who feature, that feels like it's, a godsend, basically.
It really is. And so I'm a digital marketing expert, 35 years in the industry. I crunch data. Data is power to me. And I'm in analytics constantly, daily, hourly. Seeing that chart and getting to see the monthly of what's going on in the activity of your profile is a lot of fun. But it's data, and it allows us to understand what's going on with our profile. And so it's very powerful to have that.
And do you feel that, you're able to reach out to some of these folks, and are you able to say, the right things to say, hey, I noticed you were visiting the profile. Is there anything I can do to help? Or is there a better way to approach that?
I do not do that. Is what I'll do is go back and look at their profile. So
Okay.
I try to return whatever activity is being done to me. And so if they're looking at my profile, I'll go look at their profile. And then that often leads to them writing to me or me writing to them or us liking each other's reviews or services. And that builds the relationship into a full connection to where we then may exchange emails, exchange phone numbers, and build off of Alignable a further relationship.
Oh, that's fantastic. How about you, Anthony? Do you use the See Who feature, often, or how else would you get involved with that?
Yeah, the CV feature is great to be able to view who's viewed your profile. I'm more of a direct person personally, so I'll look up the profile, I'll see commonalities or the opportunity where I could maybe help, and then I will pick up the phone usually and call and just have a chat and arrange to try and have a meeting. That's typically what I would do. That's where I've had the best success. And just circling back to James's point as well, and the point about the spotlight and reputation feature, I found that is so crucial to help you build your online reputation. Like the clients that I have and people that I meet, even if I meet someone on Alignable and I don't do business with them, or if I send them referrals and if they send me a referral and I don't do business directly with them, I'm happy to always send them if I see that they're trustworthy and reliable, I'm always happy to leave them a recommendation. And I will send them a message afterwards, to reciprocate, to say, like, left you a recommendation. If you could do the same for me, take 2 minutes, would be greatly appreciated. And more often than not, I find them leaving a recommendation. A lot of my clients, I reach out to them, can you leave a recommendation? And they do that as well. And it really helps to build your online reputation when approaching and having these conversations with businesses.
That's fantastic. That's great. Now, Chris is one of the guys we definitely wanted on here today because he's constantly trying to refine, what's the best way to tell people about what we're doing with Alignable and what, so I'm so glad, Chris, you're on here and that we're recording this. I mean, there are 10 people I want to send this to already. Do you have anything you would add here too?
I would just amplify what James and Anthony have said, right? In terms of with respect to the features that we've covered. With the See Who feature, you're unlocking, we talk about know, like, and trust. You're unlocking the know phase, right? James mentioned he visits a profile in order to get to know someone, and then a relationship builds from there. Anthony mentioned that, it's basically a warm lead to him that he's comfortable reaching out to and calling. This is the benefit of the See Who function in order to grow your business and your relationships. Outside of that particular feature, I do want to call attention to the AI coaches that I don't think were mentioned quite yet.
And they're brand new.
Right, exactly. And so in terms of a flashy feature, this is one for everyone in attendance. Our AI coaches are specifically designed to answer your needs as a business owner. One of the benefits of the AI coaches being hosted on our own platform is that they can read your profile and thus intuit exactly what you're trying to get at when you're engaging with them. And so I highly recommend, for anyone that is on premium or is interested in premium, once you upgrade, you can go to the My Memberships page. It's accessible underneath your drop down in the navigation, and you'll be presented with those AI coaches. We've seen a lot of people find a lot of success pretty quickly with them, and we are constantly also looking to learn. So the more you engage with them, the more we win, and the more we hope you win as well. Chuck, I don't want to take too much time. But outside of the things that you've already mentioned, we've got additional connection credits. We've got the See Who feature. We've got the AI coaches. We've got a community extension, right? For those of you who are interested in posting frequently within a particular local area, Premium affords you the opportunity to extend your local community by 5x. Beyond that, I think the sell of Premium, or at least the way that we at Alignable are trying to sell it, is we want to sell it to the right folks who are going to get the right use out of it, right?
Right.
And so when I say amplify, I mean we're amplifying the things that I just alluded to with James and Anthony, right? You have more connection credits, but we don't expect you to spam. We expect them to use them effectively to build relationships, right? You have See Who, but it's up to you on how you determine, the way in which you build the relationship from that insight. You have these AI coaches, but we don't intend, nor will we ever intend, to replace a human-to-human interaction with a robot, right? And so these are all just ways to continue to extend and build relationships through your network as an asset on Alignable. And that's really what we want Premium to be. So I'll extend to everyone on this call and anyone you know on Alignable, please do find me and let me know if we're missing anything. We are constantly on the lookout. We constantly have our ears to the ground. Our Premium plan is an iterative plan that is meant to be the best for our best members.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to have a list of some of those benefits coming up too. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is my email is Chuck@Alignable. Okay. And I end up talking to everybody at Alignable. Chris can tell you that. He's only been here for a couple of months, I think. So, so if there are any questions that come up, I can refer you to customer success or others, because so often, I know if I were a member watching this, I'd be like, okay, well, you know what? Do I really want to do this? And what do I want to do? And it's like, no, we want you to do it when you want to do it, and when you're really serious about bringing your networking to the next level. That's really what it's all about. But bigger than that, we want more success stories from everybody, to say, hey, my business went up 30%. I mean, when I was a small business owner, if someone had told me that, I'd be like, wait, where am I going? What am I doing? And that's why I get excited about it when James tells me that. Or I've had someone tell me they get 90% of their business from Alignable. I'm like, how do you do it? That's great. How are you doing it? And, premium is one part of it, but then there are a lot of other parts. And there are a lot of other advantages that people can take advantage of. And, and that's really why we do these webinars, just to sort of demystify too. So let me just ask this question before we get into more questions from the audience. Anthony, what is it that you would tell a brand new member? What would what would your advice be on that? And James, I'm going to ask you too, because I know you're already mentoring a few.
So if I understand correctly, you're asking me what advice I would give to like new members that are coming on Alignable?
Right.
Yeah. So my advice would basically be to connect with as many other new members as possible. That will be my best advice, to connect with as many people as possible, have conversations, actual conversations like phone calls, reach out to them, turn those messages into, a meeting or a phone call where you can have a proper conversation with them to learn about their business and learn about what they're doing and the success that they're seeing and who you can introduce them to. You never know if the person you're talking to, their best friend might be the person that transforms your business. Right? The best person they know could be the person that skyrockets your business, and you won't know that. And even though things might not sometimes seem like a fit, I would advise to never turn down a meeting, never turn down a one-to-one meeting or a coffee or a Zoom. Never turn one down, because you don't know who they know, and who they know might just transform your business.
Right. And they don't know until they talk to you how they could help you too. Right? Like they don't know, oh, geez, my uncle does that, or my someone did, I mean, that's why this is why it really comes down to the human being. It really comes down to that one-on-one human interaction, which is really the beauty of all this. James, talk to me about the mentoring and what you tell new people here.
So Anthony hit on it really well, and that's really what you have to do is to interact and to get involved. But to do that, I find that the connections that you get, the 20 or the 30 that you get, or actually 40 as a premium member, those you have to use every single month. Do not let a single one go by. It is critical that you use all of those connection requests carefully and completely each month. And from there, it's a matter of start slow and start local and just start engaging. As Anthony said, just start interacting with people and the relationships will grow. It takes very little effort. I mean, very little effort on Alignable. What I have found that is so great and where I value it so much is the quality of connections on Alignable is different from other platforms. I get probably 10 a day on LinkedIn private messages, probably 5 a day on Facebook to my business, 10 a day on my personal, and most of it is noise. It's spam, it's scams, it's fakes. But on Alignable, everybody who you talk to are other serious professionals, people working, people trying to provide a service. And what that leads to is that you have to just simply solve problems for people. Present yourself genuinely and try to solve a problem, and the rest will fall into place.
And think of how satisfying that is too. You know, I mean, I know I personally get a lot of great satisfaction hearing your stories and hearing, you know, again, if it's connected to the contest or it's connected to premium or whatever it is, it's like, okay, great. Something I worked on worked out for that guy or that woman, you know? It's so, I can imagine it's the same with you when you see somebody doing well or they win their local contest or they're, you know, I mean, we're all in it for, I mean, really, we're all in it for everybody else. You know, of course, you want it to benefit your business. That's what we're here for. But you're really in it to help everybody else out. Because I will tell you, poor small business people, I'm always like, we have to listen more to small business people. They're the ones actually making the economy turn around. They're the ones doing all this, but they need the help. And so the support network that you guys are talking about is just sort of another great added benefit. Chris, did you want to add something too?
I wanted to just show the participants the insights page and to see who we were referring to. I heard that was coming through the chat. And so I'm going to share the screen for a very limited amount of time. When I'm talking about insights, I'm referring to the insights page here. If you're, I'm logged in as James, by the way. So James, apologies for the invasion on your privacy.
No worries.
But don't worry, he won't be sending anyone any messages.
Right. I won't. You're seeing it live. And so you can either click through from your home screen here, or you can go to My Insights if you're a premium member. If you are an explorer, you can navigate to this page. You'll be receiving a lot of emails to see this. And some of you will see this new navigation experience and can navigate directly here. Just while I have the screen, when I refer to my memberships, this is what I'm referring to. And here's where you'll see the AI coaches. To follow on Chuck's lead earlier, my email is chris@alignable.com. As easy to remember. Please do follow up directly with me if you have any questions or concerns about any of this. Thanks, y'all. Yeah,
that's excellent. And thank you for sharing those things. That's terrific. Well, I think I'm going to move on to more of the questions and dive in there. So Randy, do you want to go to the next slide? And the next slide should be the offer that we're offering up above. That is a premium membership. It's free premium for a month so that you can try it out. And you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Chris and say, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because that's really what this place is like. And you know, you'll want to use that offer. But I think the next slide, here we go. Okay.
I got it.
So here's a recap of some of the stuff that Chris said, some of the stuff that James and Anthony has said. And I really thought this would be important for anybody looking back at this as a recording too, just to have all these things in here where you're like, wow, I'm getting this. And there's more. I'm sure we haven't covered everything here, but you got the more connection credits, insights and analytics. Chris did a beautiful job explaining that. And there's a lot more to that too. By the way, he just took a couple seconds to show you what that looks like. And James, your analytics look fantastic. By the way, I was just looking at all the, I was like, boy, that guy is I'm an analytics guy too. I was like, James, all right. I was blushing. I was holy cow. Whatever James is doing, he's doing it right, folks. Just on those analytics. And Anthony too, the see who we talked about, see who visits your profile and reaching out, getting to know them or checking their profile and reaching out and talking to them about that, seeing how you can help. That's really what it's about. The AI coaches we talked about, please explore that because that's brand new. We just started talking to people about that a couple of weeks ago, and we really want to learn, hey, are all these AI coaches the ones that you would want, or are we missing some? Are there some other coaches that you would want? We want to hear all that stuff from you. And then enhanced access to expert groups and more recs and referrals, and ultimately being optimized for more inbound leads. That's really what happens here. We have great engineers at Alignable who, you know, really blow our minds. I mean, I'm more of the PR marketing guy, so I don't know what they're talking about half the time, but when I do know what they're talking about, it makes a lot of sense. And they're always in there saying, no, we want to talk to more members. We want to find out more from them on what works. So we would pass that along, anything that you have for Chris or for me. Then you can also this makes you eligible going premium to become an ambassador or a group leader. And some people are both. And I will tell you, a lot of the people who, I talk to, like James and Anthony, who are ambassadors, their business went up 90% because they're setting up events for all their local people, and they're reaching out to everybody, and they're getting a lot of great visibility, and they're getting to know people and getting to know who needs what referral where. Same thing with the group leaders. The group leaders get to know the members of their groups, and they're able to refer help or comment on there. There's a lot that happens with both of those roles. And I would advocate more of those too if you have the extra time for that. It's paid off very well for a lot of people. And then basically, boosting that visibility and the opportunities to refer more people and then to be referred. But I think, Anthony, you were basically saying whenever you refer somebody, that's a huge compliment. And they will usually, if it's someone you want to keep a relationship with, they'll think of ways to try to refer you or at least thank you. And that just keeps this wheel rolling. It's almost like the snowball metaphor on the top of a hill on a snowy day. You start out with the snowball, but it can snowball in a very positive way, picking up more and more connections and contacts along the way. So the special promo that we wanted to talk about, James, go ahead.
On that note, real quick, Chris tapped on the 5 communities. Now you got to realize that is a tremendous increase, where a non-premium you have 1 community, right, but having 5 communities that you get to pick around your area, that was a game changer for me way back, like tremendous boost.
Oh, that's really great to hear. Okay, Chris, we've got a couple of other people we need to tell that to. That's fantastic. And again, another thing that's fantastic is, hey, if you haven't tried premium yet, this is the time to do it, folks. Not only because we have this fancy little promo here where you get the first month for free and you could try it out, and now you know who to reach out to, Chris or me, if you have questions along the way. And it does expire in December 19th. So you do want to act on this quickly. You can click the little banner above, and also Randy will be sending you an email with links to this as well. But the other added benefit of this is that this can carry you into the beginning of the contest too, which starts on January 8th. So you're going to be among the very first people in the history of this contest to get 50 extra votes and really go to town with that networking. So, the timing couldn't be better. Let's put it that way. And that's why I'm excited about it.